That dog is most annoying. Anyway, welcome back. Big job today. Well, not today. It's quite late on in the day, but I'm going to make a head start for tomorrow and Friday. So, as you saw last week, I've got my fascia board. Black, even though it looks brown to me because I'm colourblind. Looking awesome. Got some corner pieces and some joining pieces. So I'm going to install the green living roof, which has just arrived. There it is. It's a whole kit. So obviously you've got the actually living sedum roof on a matting. Then you get the drainage stuff, which is that. And I don't even know what that is, but more stuff. More waterproofing stuff probably. So the gig is, I'm going to make a complete hash of it. No, we're going to do it right. I've got everything I need. Still going to be a bit tricky because I'm on my own, but hey ho, we'll make do. So I need to trim the actual roof that's up here, back level with these joisty parts. As you can see, there's a slight hangover. Then I'm going to put some 4x2 here to bring it out a bit, like that, which I've got a bit on top of there waiting for that. So that's going to, that won't need cutting, so that's going to sit like that. The fascia board's going to attach to this, and then obviously I've got a gap here for when I eventually clad the pond, so it don't stick out too far. That side will definitely need to be trimmed, as you can see, and that side, and no doubt the back. Yeah. Then once that's trimmed, get rid of the waterproofing and everything off of the roof, put the new waterproofing on, well sorry, put the fascia board on, put the waterproofing on, and then install the living roof as per that bloody dog instructions. It's not, I'll be honest, it's not looking like it's going to bloody rain. So even though there's no rain forecast, and as I mentioned the other week, this bit here is going to be the awkward part, because the back of the pergola is very close to the wall of the pond. So I'll work that out near the time. I might need to shuffle, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I might need to shuffle the roof covering, the polycarbonate sheet is the word I'm thinking of. I might need to move that forward a touch. But I'll need to get up there and have a better look. That's going to cause me an issue, I know it is. I'm going to leave that bit till last. The plan was at some point to replace this roof. I don't really want to have to do it now, having shelled out an absolute fortune for the living roof and the fascia board and stuff. So I might just put a bit of fascia here for now on this section there, and then leave that until eventually I'll sort this, and then I can do that edge differently. We'll have a look and see. We'll work it out when we're up there. Anyway, so that's the plan. So I need to get my ladder, I need to get some measurements and some stuff cut, and then yeah, eventually get round to doing it. Right, I'll catch you back in a minute when I'm up there moaning about everything. What would be fun is if this runs out of battery. Yeah. So I've got some help today. In my plight for doing this roof, someone's kindly offered to help. Morning. So we've got Steve from Cat and Eye Koi, and he's got his NHS stuff on just in case I have an accident, which is probably more than likely. So yeah, he's giving me a hand. He's currently just wrecking the joint.
All gone. Just a big puddle on this roof now.
Yeah, he's been, what do I say?
Assisting.
Yeah, assisting, mocking, jesting, laughing.
Mocking.
Anyway, so we're nearly done with the first stage. So put an edge on here. So this edge is what's going to be screwed, the fascia is going to be screwed to, and we're going to wrap the roof membrane round here. I've had this really good idea. We're going to wrap it round here and then staple it to there. Isn't that right?
That's right.
See, I wouldn't have done it that way, but you know, I'm not in charge. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to get the fascia on. Super stapler. I presume we're going to do the fascia next. Is that right, boss?
We're going to do the...
Yeah, that, then the fascia afterwards, and then we'll get the actual roof on. So it's not actually...
This roof, if it starts raining, it's totally exposed.
He knows what he's doing. Luckily, cheap day rate. Cup of tea, and he's yours for a day. Hire a Steve for a day is the new...
Come on.
I'm busy filming and talking to the camera. Anyway, right, I'll come back in a minute when we're doing something rather than taking a pee out of Steve. Catch you in a bit. So I'm smiling. The question is Steve smiling?
Is this a real smile?
How heavy are they? They're heavy, aren't they?
Heavier than the average bear.
It's too. I would never have done it on my own. So kudos to Steve for helping me. So we're going to put it in a wheelbarrow. We've got to drag it up the ladder.
Not now. We're going to put it in a wheelbarrow. Thinking, dancing.
I'm not joking. I've got to weigh 40 kilos at least. But you know. Go on then.
Yep. It's like carrying a newborn seal.
What, me?
Put the camera down. We need a hand. Come on.
God. Such a drama queen. Whew. Mess. Of course. Knackered. Of course. Massive thanks to Steve coming out today. I'm sure I've said 1,000 times already. There is no chance on this earth I would have done it on my own. So, big up Steve. Thank you very much. He did get a gift. But yeah, proper top man. Knew his stuff. I didn't know what I was doing. I can't cut, I can't draw. He knew what he was on about. Anyway, so it's on. So the way it works, there's a roof membrane. I didn't go rubber, I just went with this thick plasticky stuff. Don't know, I think it is, can't remember. 0.75 mil, 1 mil, something like that. Then you get this root membrane we just put on as a double because it came in the kit, and if there's an issue it's on there. That's like super thin. Then the next layer is this stuff, which is to stop the matting, the sedum roof, sitting in water, because it's a flat roof kit. As you know, it's a flat roof, so it can't sit in water because it will kill it. Then the sedum is literally on this matting stuff. Well, there's two matting types, probably the one that the sedum's grown on, and then this to hold all the moisture in. And that, I say that's it. I use that term quite loosely because, as I said earlier, the rolls of matting were probably 40 to 50 kilos in weight. You have to get it up on a roof, so you have to go up a ladder. Yeah, we could have cut it, but it would have meant there were more joints and a bit more messy trying to get it all, and cutting it isn't particularly easy. I used a Stanley and a pair of kitchen scissors. Well, I've got two pairs. I broke a pair, Steve remembers, and these ones did the job. We're going to be blunt as, but anyway. So this is what it looks like. Whew. So I presume over time, obviously the stuff's growing, so all the gaps will be filled in, but if not, I'll say gaps, the joins from where the mats are. And literally, that brown patch in the middle was what we were short. My ordering 12 square meters, that little bit there, but hopefully over time this will just grow over in it. So now I've got the fabulous task. We're putting the fascia edge on. In fact, there's a little bit there missing as well, look. So I'm just putting the fascia edge on. That is literally to protect the side of the matting, because it's slightly lower than it, and that's to stop wind lifting it up and drying it out and obviously killing it, and or it disappearing and going flying off. I presume over time it will probably grow slightly into this, whatever that stuff is, the springy stuff, to stop it sitting in water. Hopefully it will just knit itself into that, because on the back of some of these there's some right old roots, as you can see, look, and that'll anchor it down anyway. So yeah, all in all, absolute nightmare, but it should look awesome when we've got all the bugs and the bees and all the wildlife. Probably going to end up being annoyed that we get bees and stuff everywhere buzzing around and stinging us, but you know, we're doing our part for the environment. So yes, happy, sort of. I'm just finishing up now, just got to cut this edge and then I'm done for today, because this mat is a little bit too long, it doesn't tuck underneath. I need to take about, oh God, not a lot off. Oh, then again it might tuck under. No, yeah, no, yeah. But all in all, reasonably easy to fit. It's just the absolute nightmare of manhandling it and getting it up a ladder, because bear in mind it's for a roof, so you've got to go up a ladder and they're heavy, but we persevered. Anyway, catch you later. Good afternoon, different day, same me. So the couple of issues and veiny fish and whatever, maybe a few red marks. So as you know, I started off with some water tests, they were fine, then I did some scrapes, I couldn't find anything on that, but I didn't order me chlorine tester reagents. Well, I've done that now. That came, what are we today, Sunday? Come Friday? I can't remember. It came Thursday or Friday, so I did some tests. Lo and behold, I had chlorine coming out of the Big Blue. Now, I've got a book here. I've got a Koi diary, which I record my water tests in. Now on the 30th of the 12th, I actually changed the carbon because pond chlorine was at 124. It was coming out 24 from the Big Blue. The pond was at 124. So I changed the carbon. You might as well say just from this year, so it's fresh carbon. Now, as you know, I did another test on that when that came the other day, and I had a reading of chlorine. I can't remember what it is. I think I've got a still. I'll post that in now. So that was coming out of the Big Blue. How is that possible? Because look how much carbon is in that. And I'm literally flowing about 500 mil a minute, if that. Obviously it's winter, I'm not feeding a lot. That is the flow. Not a lot. So a litre for every 2 minutes maybe. So I was stumped. So I spoke to my old mate Finchy, who I know a lot of you people have bought stuff from. He suggested that possibly the water was tracking through the Big Blue. So what we mean by that is, it's going in and the carbon has moved on the inside and it's created like a channel which the water's flowing through. So it's not actually flowing through all of the carbon. So the suggestions were to give it a bit of a shake up and try again. So what I did, I disconnected it and I actually reverse flowed the water. So I put the water from the tap on the out of the Big Blue and run it in reverse for about, I don't know, 7-8 minutes, something like that, maybe 10 minutes max. Then I turned it upside down and emptied the water out, and I gave it a shake, connected it back up, run it to waste for another 10 minutes because the water looked actually a bit dusty, which was a bit odd. So I ran it to waste for about 10 minutes. Then I did another test and it came back 0. Excuse me, got a bit of a snotty nose. So that's led us to believe that the water's tracking inside the canister and making a route literally just to the, it's literally coming in and then going out, because it's always going to take the easiest route, and if there's a gap anywhere within the carbon, it's going to go that way. So if it's created this gap, the water is just going to flow through that gap. So it's been 2 days since I've done that. I'm going to do another check now. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to be 0. If it's not 0, I can't be shaking it and turning it and reverse flowing it every week. That's just ridiculous. I know some people out there have been running their Big Blue for maybe a year, not done anything with it, and they're still at 0. So it'll be interesting to see. I've got plenty of reagents. It's pretty much £1 to go, and I did about 8 tests the other day, so I've chucked away about £8, but you know, I've got to do it because I need to know. So let's see where we're at. Hopefully, as I say, it's 0, because it's been trickling in now for 48 hours, and I don't really want to be putting chlorine in the pond, which I'm putting down to the reason that the fish were looking a bit veiny and there was a few marks on them, possibly. We'll never know. Well, we will know, because if I get the chlorine fixed and then in a week or 2 the fish have settled down again and it's looking groovy and they're all looking great, it would have 100% been that as a problem. If they're still looking a bit ropey after maybe a couple of weeks, I still need to try and find out what it is. So anyway, let's cut to the chase. Let's get my kits. Let's do 1,000 tests of chlorine and then see where we're at. And I've also bought, if you like this, some little bottle brushes to make sure when I clean the little vials out, I can give them an absolute perfect scrub on the inside. These are perfect. Put both of them in there to make sure I get any residue from the previous test out, and that's not going to bodge the new test. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm going to put you away, then I'm going to do the test, and then we'll talk about what the answer is. Hopefully 0. So I'll catch you in a minute. Actually, while I'm here, while I'm doing the test, you need to make sure these are perfectly clean on the outside as well as the inside. No fingerprints or muck on it, because that can throw the result. So I always give it a clean with my jumper. Just give it a wipe round to 1, make sure there's no water on the outside, and 2, any kind of greasy, grubby fingerprint marks or junk that I might have picked up and put on the bottle. It's a bit of a top tip kind of thing. If you're not already doing that, make sure you're cleaning these before you put it in for it to start doing the reading. Anyway, back to it. Thank goodness it's 0. So that's 0 from the purifier. I'm actually going to do a pond water test as well now. I did put some sodium thiosulfate in as a precaution some point in the week. I can't remember, a couple of days before I did the Virkon treatment, just to make sure if there was any chloramine in the pond water, it would have nuked it, but who knows. So I'm going to do a pond water test now because I've got reagents to burn now. Look, might as well just use them all. And I'm going to do a full other set of parameter tests anyway since I'm out here. For some reason I didn't log the last two. Idiot. It's because my pencil had disappeared. It was over here. And I'm going to check my KH because I know there's been a few people, and I've been speaking to a friend of mine who lives not too far. His KH has risen drastically to quite high levels. In fact, I might do a whole, I haven't done it for a while, a whole tap water test for everything. So pH, ammonia, nitrite. I don't check nitrate because a couple of years back I was having nitrate in my tap water that was higher than what my pond was. Ridiculous. So I gave up checking it. So I'm going to do all of that right now so I know where I'm at, and then I will report back. So I'll catch you in a bit with test results. Bye. So there we go, that's pond water, total chlorine 78. So I need to do something about that right now. So I've got some sodium thiosulfate. I need to put a load in. Not a load in, but some in. I don't actually know, I'll be honest with you. You can't overdose on it, but I don't actually know the required amount for pond volume. I've been doing just 2 tablespoons full in a jug until it's dissolved and just pouring it in. That's what I did the other day. It's obviously not quite enough. So I'm going to put some more in and then probably do a bit more research. I know you can, if you look on Google. If I find it, I'll put it in the comments below, because I know there's a few people use it, and like me, just sort of guesswork. But guesswork isn't good enough in this case, is it? Because I need to get rid of that. Right, let's get on with the other tests and get me sodium thiosulfate in. Catch you later. So I've done the research, so you don't have to. I'm not going to send you to Google. I know I've got it. Sodium thiosulfate needs to be used at a rate of 13 grams per 1,000 gallons of pond water. You can't overdose on it, so I've actually just rounded it up. I'm going to put 40 grams in, and I've just weighed this. Oh, that's gone off now. I've just weighed that little cup, and that weighs 23 grams. So I've done 2 of them. Actually, that includes the plastic bit. It's a bit less. It's just over 20 grams. So I know for future that 2 of these will be enough for my pond. So sodium thiosulfate, I'll put the link, not the link, I'll put in the description the dose rates, and I might even leave that on the bottom of all the videos. Actually, it's quite handy to know. But you can't, as I say, you can't overdose on it, so you could literally chuck a load in. Why you'd want to do that I don't know, but you could. Right, I'm going to mix this with some pond water and get it dissolved and get that in, and hopefully I then check again, since I'm just burning reagents, that mess everywhere. I'll check again after I've done all my other tests to make sure that it's had a chance to go around the system and hopefully nuke all of the chlorine. Oh, mega busy. Right, and I'm going to crack on with all these other tests for all the pond tests, and then all of my tap water tests, which I haven't done, as I say, for quite some time, so it's worth doing just to see where I'm at. I'll catch you in a bit with all of the results, and we'll have a quick look over them. See you in a bit. Peace. Ooh, that took some doing. So I've done ammonia, pH, nitrite, chlorine and KH for the pond and for my tap water. Oh my god, that took forever. Right, the results. So no ammonia in the pond. I've not had any food the last couple of days actually. I was busy all day Saturday and I've been out on my bike all day today, so they've not had anything, hence that being 0. pH in the pond 8.2, nitrite of 12, which with the Hannah kits you need to times that by 29.61 to give you a number. What's that? Sorry, by 3.29, so it's 38 maybe. I'll work that out exactly in a minute, I forgot to check. And there was chlorine in the pond, 78 it came out, so I've added some sodium thiosulfate, and like a complete idiot I've packed everything away now. I forgot to do another test for the pond, so do you know what, I just can't be bothered right now. I'm going to do that tomorrow. And a KH of 8, And then my tap water, ammonia 0, pH 7.4. Nitrite, interestingly, was at 7 out the tap. I did a quick bit of research. I'm with Severn Trent, and that's 7 parts per billion, but the drinking water standards is 50 parts per billion, so it is under that, but it is in the tap water. Chlorine coming at 149, and KH was between 7 and 8 on the API drop kits. So overall, it's my chlorine, I think, that is causing me fish issues, veiny, possibly the little red marks and stuff, because it's been quite high in the pond. So hopefully, fingers crossed, like a dumbass, but I can't be asked to do it now, the chlorine is 0 in the pond after adding me sodium thiosulfate. As I say, I'll check that tomorrow. And I've remembered to write it down in me Koi Diary, even though there's no writing on it for today, which I haven't done the last couple of times. Oh my god. So hopefully we've got to the bottom of that. It'll be interesting to see now how much longer it will be before I get a reading for that. So I'm going to check it every single week. I'll be honest, I'm not one of these people that check my water parameters on a weekly regime. I normally do a test every maybe 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, or if I think the fish are looking a little off or there's something not quite right, I'll do a full pond test. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't know, but that's what I do. I just use the fish to gauge, me looking at the fish to see if there's an issue. And as I've always said, first port of call should be water test before anything else. Especially if you think it's parasites, or you sort of shotgunning treatments. It might not be the case like myself. It looks like chlorine was the issue. So yeah, but that's what I do. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. And I know some people do a weekly test, Saturday or a Sunday when they have a bit more time if they're not at work, and they'll do a full water test kit and record it and see where that's at. But that's not for me. That's not the way I've done it. I've never done it like that. But hey, everyone's different. Right. Pack these final few bits away. I've used a mountain of reagent wrappers. I had to open my new ammonia. Luckily I had that spare. Pack all this lot away, go in, and we're going to have a mega roast dinner because I'm starving. 60 miles today on a bike in the wind was nuts. When I get in from work tomorrow, we'll talk about the roof and the roof on the pond, because that's that way. But you'll have to wait for tomorrow for that. Catch you later, and I've got to work. Work tomorrow? What? Monday? Just had a week off, I don't need to be going back to work. Back from work. Cold but sunny. So I'm going to do my chlorine test in the pond. I want to see if the Shiro comes up, see if it looks any better actually. Should be 0 because obviously I put the sodium thiosulfate in yesterday, so hello. Hard to tell. Get some food. Measured them out. Whee! Where's it gone? There it is. I think it's looking a lot whiter. Might be easy if I take the front of the window, the covering off of the window. Why is it being annoying? Normally, straight over, straight up. Leave that there, look. I think it's looking a lot better. The only other fish of concern, one that was Chubbs the Chag. See if I can entice her over here so I can see underneath. I'm still going to check my chlorine. Come on. Looking a lot better underneath. Still says a couple of sort of tinged scales, but it's not like it was. Why does it always happen? Look, normally up and around straight away to where I am, but just waiting for the food. Come on, Chubbs. Oh yeah, Shiro definitely looking way less veiny, if none at all now. Definitely not as bad as it was. Come on. Look, she's just there. She's toying with me. Hopefully, when they go nuts for this, whee! She'll come over. There she is down there, look now. Come on. Is she going to come up? No, of course not. I'm going to persevere, I just want to have another look. There she, come on. What are you doing, girl? A few more pellets there, look. Not playing ball. So I'm not sure how much of that I captured on video. I was just looking at the screen and then noticed it said format error on the SD card. Joys. So it looks like I've got a decent few minutes of film. So I'm just looking for Chubbs, aren't I? I'm trying to find out what she looks like underneath. But she's not playing ball at all. She's not having it. So I'm gonna go in the filter house now and have a look at me, do my chlorine check. Come on. There's a couple of marks there. I can't see how bad it is, or if it's getting any better. I don't have to net her out. Come on, fishy, fishy. Oh God, oh, that's frustrating. I'm going to go and do my chlorine check because I'm getting annoyed. Right, do my check. We'll come back and hopefully see that it's 0. Right, while that's ticking down, let's go back out here. See if we can see anything. I'm just going to play ball. 2 minutes. Probably not. Normally he's swimming up the window. Crazy, he's just swimming past now. It's not about that today. Not having it at all. Oh, 1 minute. Oh, that's looking a lot better. Definitely a lot better. So hopefully that was the cause of me issues. Yeah, a lot better. It's not right, but it's a lot better. Right, anyway, so I've got a couple of minutes still. She played ball. The other thing I was going to say, so now we've done that. Well, I've not done that. The roof's done. I've need to put the fascia on, but I've decided I'm going to rebuild this. In for a penny, in for a pound. So I'm going to take polycarb off. I'm going to take all these joisty bits off, and I am going to take the back 2 off. One of them got butchered, if you remember rightly, from a few years back when I thought I was being clever and I weren't. I'm going to order some bigger ones. I think I'm going to order some 6x2, and I'm going to slope the roof towards the building with a guttering on the back to catch the water. Not a massive gradient, but enough so the water will just roll off into the gutter and then down there into me overflow bin from my top up, which then gets pumped to the drain. So yes, not a massive job, but it's a big enough job. I'm going to keep the front that height. I'm going to lower this back bit somewhat, a few inches, so I can get the guttering in, and then notch these out to give me the fall that I need. I just need to work out how. I've not calculated how many beams I need. I'm definitely going to need 2 new ones of these from this end, and some guttering, maybe even a couple of new bits of polycarb, depending on how expensive or not it is. It's probably expensive like everything else is. And then that'll allow me to fit this fascia board on this side, which would just about fit in there, but actually securing it to the wall plate on the top of the wooden plate would be a bit of a nightmare. So if I can take all of that off, I can get that fitted to protect the side of the growing roof. lower it down, get it all in. Bob, Bosch, whatever you want to say, done. Sounds easy, doesn't it? More cost. I wasn't planning on doing it. Oh, thank the Lord. We are good to go. Thank goodness. So yeah, that's the plan. I don't know when. We've got a few issues at work with a work van, so we might need to. I might just spend. I did have next week off, but might have to spend next week building a new work van up because one's dead. Depending on whether the garage can get it fixed. So yeah, maybe the week after. It depends how next week goes and what's happening with the work van, which I'll find out later on this week. So that's the plan. Local builders merchants, literally 5 miles from here, have got they have their stock listed as a number online, and they've got absolutely millions of bits of wood that I need, and delivery is next day because I'm so local. I gave them a call the other day, so that is good. And then that will mean I can then start panicking about what I'm going to clad the building with. I'm still not 100% sure. Had a few. Mrs. chucked a spanner into the works, and I've been looking at wood, red cedar or a burnt larch or just a larch of some kind, I don't know. But then I can get that done because the roof will be done and that won't need to come down then, because once it's up everything else can work around it. So yeah, that's where it's at. More money. I can't ever imagine a time when all I'm worried about on the pond is food and just the astronomical running costs, because as we know we're in a bit of a meltdown with energy, the energy crisis right now. So anyway, that's it for this week. I know, 3 weeks running, Koi Diary, I'm back-ish. Thanks for watching. So if you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. That'll be most gratefully received, and a thumbs up. Thank you very much. If you could do that, that would be great. And I'll see you next week, probably, possibly. Yeah, maybe. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm doing. I need to, as I say, order all these bits. But I don't know when I'm doing that, because I don't know when I'm fitting it. But I'll probably catch you next week with more ramblings and more shenanigans at Koi Diary HQ. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you soon. Bye.